Okay, good morning everyone again. I welcome you all for this virtual class on transmission and distribution. So you will be having this module number 5, which we'll be discussing. And we were discussing the concept which was related to the AC distribution system. Okay. So can anyone in the meeting tell me how are we going to calculate AC distribution calculation? Bhavana is there in the meeting? Yes. Bhavana KS, can you tell me how do we calculate AC distribution calculation? Bhavana KS, hope it is audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, can you tell me the methods involved in AC distribution calculation? Yes. What are the methods involved in AC distribution calculation? So, how are we going to calculate it? Yes. Janavi, can you tell me how are we going to calculate it?
Sir, power factors refer to receiving end voltage.
Okay. Next.
Power
I
factors refer to the respective load voltages.
Next. ಅಷ್ಟೇನಾ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ನಾವು? Did we cover only the same concepts? Yes, Janavi, can you let me know?
Sir, power factor refer to this
Yeah,
receiving
power
end
factor
voltage.
at the receiving end, correct. That is what Bhavana told. Next, so we had few more points, AC distribution. Power factor will be included and three more points which are there.
Sir, only this was covered.
Is
Sir,
it?
the topic was covered only this one, but calculation types was there.
Yeah, so we have AC distribution calculation. What was it? The voltage distribution calculation which was there. So we will be highlighting regarding the concept, regarding the impedance also. That was also told you, right? So we were calculating regarding the impedance also. Next, what we were doing, so we were highlighting regarding the concept such as the vectorial operation. Okay, so vector way of operation of AC system. So next we were having this concept which was referred to the distribution end only, and we were highlighting the concept of receiving end point as the reference and that load voltage. Okay, so all these concepts have to be kept in mind. Got it? So moving on to the next problem, a single phase distributor, 2000 meters long, 2000 meters long. Okay, so supplies a load of 120 amperes at 0.8 power factor lagging at its far end. Okay, at its far end, and a load of 80 ampere at 0.9 power factor, and a load of 80 ampere at 0.8 power factor lagging at its midpoint, lagging at its midpoint, lagging at its midpoint. Both power factors are referred to the voltage referred to the voltage at the far end, at the far end. So the resistance and reactance per kilometer the resistance and reactance per kilometer. I'll tell you the resistance and reactance of go and return conductor. Okay, so take out your calculators, everyone. We are dissolving this. Per kilometer are 0.05 ohm and 0.1 ohm respectively. 0.1 ohm respectively. If the voltage at the far end, if the voltage at the far end is maintained at a 230 volt, is maintained at 230 volt. Calculate first one, voltage at the sending end. Voltage at the sending end. Voltage at the sending end. Okay. So second one, we'll be calculating the phase angle between the voltages. Phase angle between the voltages. Okay. So when I say voltages, it is the voltage at point A and point B. We will write it as VA and VB. Okay. So voltage, that is the phase angle between the voltage, that is VA and VB at the two ends. Okay. So I want you to make a note of this problem. Okay, so if you observe this, it's a single phase AC distributor. As I don't have to tell it, it is AC. If you see the single phase, which you can easily find out it as a AC supply. So single phase AC distributor, which is 2000 meter long, or you can say it as 2 kilometer long, and it supplies a load of 120 ampere at 0.8 power factor lagging at its far end. So how are we going to write the diagram? Okay, so how are we going to write the diagram? So it's a 2000 meter long distributor. Okay, so it's a 2000 meter long distributor. Let me tell you whether it is fed at one end or depending on it. Okay, so generally all the problems what you get, it is fed at one end. So if you see the problem carefully, if you read the problem carefully, it is a 2000 meter long and it supplies a load of 120 ampere at 0.8 power factor lagging. Okay, so it supplies a load which is 120 ampere, 0.8 power factor lagging. Okay, at its far end. So the far end is nothing but the other end of the distributor. So if I have a distributor like this, which is A and B, so this is said to be the far end if I feed it at point A. Okay, so if I feed it at point A, B is said to be the far end. Okay, and a load of 80 ampere at 0.9 power factor at its midpoint. So can anyone tell me what is the midpoint of a 2000 meter long distributor line? It would be 1000 meters. Okay, so midpoint, exactly at the midpoint. So you have a load which is to be tapped. It is 80 ampere. Okay, it is 80 ampere. I call it as I1, 80 ampere. And its corresponding power factor is said to be 0.9 power factor. And this one B, which is a 120 ampere at 0.8 power factor. So this one, which is said to be I2, and this one, which is said to be cos phi 2. Got it? So we are getting I1 and cos phi 1 as 80 and 0.9. I2 as 120 ampere. This one is said to be I2, and this one is said to be I1. This is cos phi 1. This one is cos phi 2. Okay, So both power factors are referred to the voltage at the far end. Okay, so both the power factor are referred to the voltage at the far end. Okay. Next one, what we are going to do here is, I'll write down again. So this is the midpoint. We call it as I1, 80 ampere, cos phi 1, which is 0.9. So once it is resistance and inductance, it is lagging in nature. So you can write it like this, I2, and this one is cos phi 2. Okay, so I2, which is said to be 120 ampere, and this one is said to be 0.8 lagging. Okay, so we have got these things, and let me take this as point C. So length of AC, which is 1000 meter, and length of CB, which is also 1000 meter. Okay, so all these lengths are given here, and length of AC and length of CB, which is given as 1000 meters alone. Okay, so now what is the impedance of distributor per kilometer? How do you find out impedance? So resistance and reactance are given. Impedance of distributor. Yeah, what it is? What is given in the problem? Impedance of distributor per kilometer. So I take both go and the return conductor. So per kilometer, which is 0.05 plus J 0.1 ohm per kilometer. Got it? So this is one thing that you will be highlighting. And for 2 kilometers, so it is for 1 kilometer length of line, and for 2 kilometer, so what would be the impedance offered? Okay, so what would be the impedance offered? So overall, so you will be getting the impedance of the line AB, which is there. So line AB will have an impedance of 0.05 into 2, that would be 0.1. Am I right? Plus J 0.2 ohm. Okay, so that is the length of AB. So now I want length of AC and CB. Okay, so which is nothing but the same per kilometer impedance of the distributor per kilometer, which is 0.05 plus J 0.1. Okay, next we have got 0.05 plus J 0.1. Okay, so this is what we have got as impedance of CB and impedance of AC, that is 0.05 plus J 0.1. Okay, so both the impedances are said to be equal, and how we are going to analyze this is, first we are going to find out what is the impedance of each section, that we have already done it. So next, the current flowing through the sections, that is IAC and ICB. So we will be finding out that. So after the currents flowing through the sections, next we have the voltage across the section, that is VAC and VCB. Okay, so VAC and VCB, and you know that at the far end the voltage is maintained at 230 volt. So this is the far end. Now the maintaining the voltage here, it is 230 volt. Okay, so any doubts up to this point regarding the concepts here? So VB, okay, VB, again I want to represent it in terms of the vector. It is 230 plus J0. Okay, 230 plus J0, what you are going to get. Fine. So any doubts up to this point? Anyone? Because up to this point, if it is clear, then you can find out the remaining concepts quite easily. Okay, so let me move ahead right now. I want to find out what is the load current at point B and point C in terms of the phasor representation. So load current at point B. Okay, next we have a load current at point C. Load current at point B, load current at point C. So at point B, so I have I2 vector. At point C, I have I1 vector. So how I can write it? I2 vector as magnitude of I2 at an angle phi 2. Okay, I1 can be written as I1 magnitude of phi 1. Okay, so I can write it as I2 cos phi 2. Okay, I2 cos phi 2, it's a lagging power factor, minus I2 sin phi 2 with the J term. Okay, so now again I1 cos phi 1 minus I1 sine of phi 1 again with a j term. So why it is a minus sign? So it is because of the lagging power factor that we have got. So this is where we'll be having minus sign here. Okay. So that is the reason why you will be having minus sign. So you can include it here also, or you can include it here. This is one and the same. Okay. So can you let me know what is the value of the function here? What is I2 and I1? Can you calculate what is I2 and I1? Can you calculate what is I2 and I1? Anyone? Yeah. So anyone can calculate it and let me know later. Now, so we have to find out the current in sections, that is AC and CB. Okay. So we want to find out what is the current in the section that is there. Okay. Yes. So what is the current in section CB? How will you calculate the current in section CB? Current in section CB, that is ICB with a vector. Okay. So how will you calculate it? And next, current in the section AC. Yes, Kusuma, are you there? Kusuma, are you there in the meeting?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Kusuma, can you tell me how can we calculate this?
Sir, current in CB equals I2. Current in AC equals I1 plus I2.
Sir, sir, your mic is muted.
Yeah, hope I'm audible right now. Zero point 0.9 minus J. Okay, zero point 0.9 minus J, 0.436. Okay, so we know what is cos phi 1 and we know what is cos phi 2. Okay, so similarly, we can calculate sin phi 1 and sin phi 2. Okay, so we can substitute it in respective equations and we are going to get these terms. Okay, so next find out what is I2 and what is I1 plus I2. What is I1 plus I2 and what is I2? Yes, Kusuma and Janavi can help me out in getting these answers.
Sir, current in section CB I2 is equal to 96 minus J72 amp.
Very good answer. So 96 minus J, 72 amperes. Here also it is amperes, correct? So what is I1 plus I2, which is IAC?
168 minus J 106.88 ampere.
6.88 ampere. Okay, that is right. Okay, so now after the current in section CB and AC, so we want to find out what is the voltage drop in section CB and AC. So how will you find out CB section? Okay, so how will you find out this? ICB, the corresponding current and the corresponding impedance. Next, we have IAC, next ZAC. Okay, calculate the voltage drop and let me know the answer. Yes. What is the voltage drop? It is also a complex quantity. So next we have sending end voltage. I want everyone to solve it. So Rakshita N is there in the meeting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Rakshita, can you tell me the answers of the voltage drop in section CB and section AC? And subsequently, we have sending end voltage. So sending end voltage will be the voltage at the far end, which is the receiving end voltage, but also have drop in sections. Okay, I'll call it as drop in sections. Okay, so what is this drop in section? That is VB plus VAC plus VCB. Calculate it and give me the answers.
So voltage drop in VCB is 12 plus 6.
Yeah. So VCB it is 12 plus
6J.
Yes, correct. So 12 plus 6J volts. Okay. So what is VAC?
So it is 19.08 plus 11.45J.
J 11.45. Okay. Good. So what is the sending end voltage here? Because the sending end voltage will be equal to this receiving end voltage. So we have VT as 230 plus J0, right? I can represent it over a complex form like this. Now the drop in sections is AC and CB. So it is VA equals VB plus the drop in sections. So this we call it as the drop in sections. Okay, drop in sections. Fine. So can you find out what is VA? So while doing this calculations, it is better that you keep the answer in rectangular form. So it would be better that you can add the real parts, right? So it would be a VAC plus a VCB. That would be equal to 12 plus 19.08 plus J 6 plus 11.45. Okay, got it. I want the answers now. Rakshitayan, can you let me know the answers? Anyone
Yes,
who has, yeah, anyone who has also completed can share the answers. What is VA?
So VA is 26.108 plus
261 or 26?
26.108.
Check it once.
Sorry, sir, 261.08.
261.08 plus J
17.45J.
17.45J. Correct. Right. So now we have got VA. Okay. So it is a complex quantity, right? So VA, so I'll write it here. So VA, we have got it as a complex quantity, which is 261.08 plus J, okay, plus J 17.45, right? So now how will you find out its magnitude? Root of 261.08 square it plus 17.45 square. Okay, so how will you find out the angle? So which is VA and VB. So that is nothing but the phase angle between VA and VB. Okay, so how will you find out? That is tan theta, that would be equal to 17.45 divided by 261.08. Okay, theta would be equal to tan inverse of 17.45 divided by 261.08. So can you tell me the magnitude and also the angle? Yeah, everyone can work out and let me know the answer.
Sir, VA is 261.667 volts. Then the phase
61.667 volts. Correct. Next.
angle is 3.82 degree.
Degrees. Correct. So this is the phase angle between VA and VB, which is 3.82 degrees. Okay. So next we have got the magnitude of the phase voltage. Okay. So magnitude of the phase voltage, you have got it. Fine. Any doubts up to this point? Anyone? And let me know. So it is the supply voltage is leading by 3.82 degree. Okay. That's how you can infer. Fine. So any doubts up to this point? Anyone? Okay. So let's solve this problem again, which is a three-phase one. Okay. So it is a bit of three-phase system. So you have to find out the phase voltage, whatever that you get, and then you have to multiply by √3. It is a star-connected system there. Okay. So all the distributor systems, it is connected as a star distributor. Okay, so let us start right now. A three phase 400 volt. So see the voltage itself, 400 volt distributor, 400 volt distributor. AB is loaded. AB is loaded as shown in the figure below. As shown in the figure below. As shown in the figure below. The three-phase load at point C. The three-phase load at point C. The three-phase load at point C takes 5 ampere per phase, 5 ampere per phase at 0.8 power factor lagging, 0.8 power factor lagging. At point B, a three-phase 400 volt induction motor, three-phase 400 volt induction motor is connected which has an output of 10 HP. So the rating of the motor is said to be 10 HP with an efficiency of 90% and 0.85 power factor lagging. 0.85 power factor lagging. Okay, 0.85 power factor lagging. If the voltage at point B, is to be maintained at 400 volt, is to be maintained at a 400 volt, what should be the voltage at point A? What should be the voltage at point A? The resistance and reactance of the line, the resistance and reactance of the line, okay, the resistance and reactance of the line are 1 ohm and 0.5 ohm per phase. 1 ohm and 0.5 ohm per phase per kilometer respectively. Got it? So this is one of the important problems that you will be finding it for a three-phase system, and you have to do it for per phase, and you have to extend it for a three-phase analysis. Okay, so let us start right now. So we will be taking the per phase value. So this is the line voltage here. So this is the line voltage. We call it as a VL. So what you should be keeping in mind is, so you will be having the voltage at point B. Okay, so it is a 400 volt distributor, and the voltage at point B is maintained at 400 volt. So this is the receiving end voltage. So this point here, it is maintained at 400 volt, and divided by root 3, you will be getting somewhat around 231.09 volt. Okay, so you will be calling it as 232 volts or 231 volts. You can take this. Okay, so VB is taken as a reference. VB is taken as a reference. All right, so that is how you will be finding out the VB, which is taken as a reference, and you need to calculate it the same way what we had done. Okay, So let us start right now because we would be having a few more concepts that are there which want to be discussed. Okay, so let us start right now quickly. So first step, you draw a AC distributor, so point A and point B. Okay, so I have it to be for a kilometer length of the line. So how you can identify it? So the resistance, okay, so that is 1 plus J 0.5, okay, ohm per kilometer, okay, per kilometer. So what you should keep in mind is, so you should be having a three-phase, yeah, it takes 0.5, correct? So identify where the distance is given. Okay, so you need to take whether it is 500 meters or say 400 meters depending on the requirement there. So I think it is not mentioned here. So the three-phase load at point C takes 5 ampere per phase at a power factor of 0.8 lagging. At point B, so you have the current that is there. Okay, so first let us identify how can we take this problem. You can take it as 600 meter here, so which is already given there. So the length would be this point C. So length of AC that would be equal to 600 meter. Okay, you can take 500 and 500, not a problem. It depends. And length of CB is said to be 400 meter. Okay, so we are taking 2 points here and we are carrying it out with the help of these points here. Okay, so it is feeding at a point A. So now what I want you to find out is the impedance of each section, ZAC and ZCB. Yes, can you calculate this? So the impedance of the entire ZAB, which is 1 plus J 0.5. So ZAC and ZCB, can you calculate it? What is it? So it is written as 1 plus J 0.5 into 600 divided by 1000. Next, we have got 1 plus J 0.5, that is 400 divided by 1000. What is the answer? Yes, can you calculate and let me know what is ZAC and what is ZCB? What is it? Yes. So I'll give this part as a self numerical problem, that is you can solve it and you can let me know. So I'll tell you the steps right now. How do you do it after finding out ZAC and ZCB? So next what you are going to find out, it is the line current. Okay, so it is the line current at R end. So you are having a three-phase induction motor at point B. At point B, we have three-phase induction motor. So what is the rating of it? It is 10 HP, which is the output of the motor. So output of the motor is taken as the reference given in the problem. It is taken as 10 HP and efficiency of the motor is 0.9. Okay, so or we call it as 90%. Okay, so next we have power factor, which is 0.85. Okay, so can you calculate the line current? So we know that power would be equal to √3 VL IL into cos phi. So we want to find out the IL, which will be at the far end. We take it as IB. So P divided by √3 VL cos phi. Okay. So what is the power? 10 HP. So you have to multiply it by 746 just to get it in terms of kilowatts or watts. Okay. So HP is there. HP to watt conversion we have. Okay, so kilowatt conversion, so that is 10 HP multiplied with 0.746, you'll be getting in terms of kilowatt. In terms of watt, it is 746. Okay, so 1 HP 746 watts. Okay, so divided by √3 into 400 into what is cos phi? 0.85. So we get IB. What is IB? You find out what is it. So you'll be getting the IB answer as 14.08 amperes. Okay, so that's the value of IB. So now the remaining steps you need to find out, that is load current. So, and next we have got the current in each section. Next, voltage drop in sections. So we are going to find out at the AC section and CB. Okay, so load current at C and B. So current in each section, AC and CB. Voltage drop in each section, that is AC and CB. All right. So we are going to find out all these things. You have to find out and let me know the answer in the next class. That is that. Okay. So after finding out the current in each section, voltage drop, so you have to find out the sending end voltage, that is VA, and also you have to find out theta. Okay, so that would be equal to receiving end voltage plus drops VAC plus AC and CB. Yes, correct. So this is the drops in the section. This is the sending end voltage, which is VA, and this is the receiving end voltage. This is the receiving end voltage, and theta would be equal to tan inverse of this function, whatever that you get, is plus j, this function and this function. So you'll be getting it as this one by this, like, yeah. So that is theta. Okay. So if you multiply it by √3, so you'll be getting the line voltage. Okay, so you'll be multiplying the line voltage. Okay, so you'll be getting the line voltage if you multiply it by √3. Okay, so these are the concepts which were there, and I want you to understand the concept and try to work out few more problems.